Hello, it's me again. Been a long time since I posted. And today's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag topics. Let's start out with, if you're thinking about getting a 19X, they work. This one has 7,000 rounds through it. I haven't had a single malfunction. I've been carrying it almost every day. I've been doing training with it. 7,000 rounds over less than 2 years, I guess. Putting it through its paces. A lot of competitions. Well, a few anyways. It's just getting better with age. So, yeah, 19X. It works, and it works well, even if it is 9mm. Now, that being said, as much as I like this one, the other part of this video is going to be about some survival strategies involving other guns, like this Glock 17L, also a Gen 5. I tend to like the Gen 5s. 6-inch barrel, 9mm comes screaming out of this. I like it. Pretty easy to shoot, well balanced, hard to find a holster for, all the things. Of course, if something is hard to find, you either make it or you take an existing product and you modify it. Don't be afraid to cut up stuff and make it fit. So now this holster will fit a Glock 17L. Even though Safariland probably doesn't really like that modification too much. Well, I paid them for the gun, or for the holster. So, this one is actually exceptionally well, fits the hand well. I don't know, it's still kind of new. About 500-ish rounds through it. Not too many yet. This is a Glock G40, 10mm. This one has right at 1,000. My next range trip will be 1,000. I put 940 rounds exactly through this 10mm, and it is surprising in a few different ways. Number one, the stock trigger on the 10mm is pretty good. Pretty good. Number two, it's probably the smoothest shooting pistol I have. Keeping in mind that normal off-the-shelf 10mm is underloaded. That's why I don't buy that. I buy stuff that's 1200 FPS or faster for personal reasons. But, shot a few competition stages with it, exactly as configured. Carried it a bit. It's definitely heavier than a G19, but it actually carries well. I like it. I like it a lot. Referring to that as my Alaska gun, because I can. Second part of this video, SE3. I have used this, well, and the Ontario version, the Rat 3, fairly extensively over the past, I want to say 5 years. Yep, 5 years. Don't buy the Rat 3. The steel sucks. The sheath dulls the knife. It's why I don't like K-bars anymore. K-bars are probably the most comfortable knife I've ever owned, used, all that stuff. But between the Ontario and the K-bar, they're the only knives I ever had that they get dulled when you pull them out of the sheath. I'm not exactly a big fan of that. But the SE here does not have the problem, even though it's the exact same sheath. Fits very well in the hands. Yeah, nice little 3-inch blade. Small tasks, big tasks. Mostly small ones. I like it. Sharpens well, that's for sure. Put that on the desk. The Kukri. Not Afghan. Nepalese Kukri. This is the one of the military versions, or at the very least, it's patterned after it. I'm not as well versed on Kukris as I am with firearms or other types of things. But it is made in Nepal, edge hardened, and it's modeled after the military issued versions that they gave to the Gurkha soldiers that were going to Afghanistan, which means it doesn't have the traditional handle. It has a full tang handle with more of a Western style grip, I'll say. So, I don't know, I like it. It's big, and Americans don't know how to handle big blades. You give an American a gun and they can figure it out fairly quickly. You give Americans a blade and they get scared. Don't know why that is. Was showing it to some of the people I meet with, and everybody just held it and kind of looked at it. One guy wouldn't touch it. One guy picked it up and was, hefting it, feeling it. He thought it would be like a hatchet, and you can use it like that. And out of all of the people there, all the big, strong American men, this little tiny 5'2" Filipino picks it up. This little 5'2" Filipino woman, who's nearly 80, picks it up, and she didn't seem to think it was all that big at all. She grew up having to use machetes every day. So to her, this was merely a different kind of machete, and she enjoyed it. So this will be getting some use this year. I bought this to test the Kukri concept, and I will be doing that. Russia and America, the Great Alaskan Venture. When Alaska was owned by the Ruskies. Lord of Alaska, same author. About Baranov, Alaska. Yep. So these will be on the reading list. A book I've almost finished because I am interested in the subject is The Adventures of the Mountain Men. Been reading a lot about the old school trappers, fur trappers, free trappers, the American West. I was interested enough, and seeing as how Alaska has been in my mind since I was 4. It's 2.5 decades I've been thinking about that place. And Russia's been in my mind since I was about 12. I figured I'd get these. My plan is to compare and contrast the tactics, techniques, and procedures, so to speak, of the American, British, French, and Spanish fur trappers in the American continent, I guess, the lower 48 now that we would know it, and southern, southwestern Canada, with the TTPs of the Russian trappers in Alaska and Siberia. I know what some of the modern Russian trappers do, some, in the interior of Alaska, due to a great set of films called Happy People. I suggest everybody who lives in the Northwoods goes and watch it. Great little documentary of sorts. And I have a handle on what some of the older mountain men would do to some of their tactics and techniques and stuff, due to a fair amount of research I've been doing on this lately. I've got about 5-ish books somewhere. That might be upstairs. But doing that, one of the things they recommend is one of the reasons I bought the 10 millimeter. There's some recommendations of a Green Beret that lives in the mountains and has killed a few bears, as well as the experiences of an old Norse guy that lives out in Alaska. He'll know. Recommends big guns because bears don't care. The bears do not care. And them suckers are big. Yeah, maybe your little G19 will handle it. As a matter of fact, I know of at least one case where a brown bear was killed with a G19. Or I should say a 9 millimeter. It'll handle it right cartridge, right loaded. But that 10 millimeter, because the average 9 millimeter has about 330 foot-pounds of energy, whereas the original 10 millimeters are 750. So that is an indicator. You're only losing 2 in the magazine. Yeah, it's bigger, but it is easier to shoot than a G19. Riddle me that one, Batman. Of course, it also depends on what you shoot, the ammo that you shoot. For example, if you buy standard Federal Ball 10 millimeter, you're going to be rather disappointed because all that is a 40 cal with a longer case. So you're not getting the energy you want out of it. Doesn't make sense to buy it at all. So I don't. So I bought Grizzly, the 220 grain hard cast lead bear loads, advertised, mind you, at 1200 FPS for 709 foot-pounds of energy, because it's a heavier bullet than the standard 200, and it's moving 100 FPS slower because it's a heavier bullet. Now, out of a 6-inch barrel, which is what this is, it should have been moving at least 1200. The highest we got, chronoed, 2 different boxes, 40 rounds, was 1147. The average was closer to 11. So, Grizzly bear loads, yeah, they might work. But, got to really search out real 10 millimeter for the real stuff. Finally, this lovely British, yeah, I have a hard time saying that. You guys know my opinions on the British, or at least a few of you do. But this is one of the only 4 things that they have ever done that's worth remembering. Got a British DPM Basha. Pretty sick. I like it. I like it a lot. This will be getting tested later this year. I like the grab handles. Some of the features in the corners of this. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And I also got 2 brand new, as in they were still in the issued bags. And I got them directly from Central Issuing Facility at the Marine Corps. Marpat tarps. So those will be tested as well. And a little bonus, a Hamu small pistol pouch. Won that in a little contest put on by Hamu himself. So that'll be a lot of fun to play around with. Put it on my chest rig or run it as it is. Extremely well made. Extremely well made. Use this as a tie down point. I plan on doing that because I'm probably going to end up using it for maps. So what I want is to put a compass in here, maps and all that, and then have my pistol behind it. 9mm, of course. The 10mm won't even fit into. I'm not even sure. Yeah, it might be a little bit long if I had to guess. Like this video. So, thank you for watching. It's a bit of an update. Little clue as to the eventual direction of this channel. Going as apolitical as I can with that, taking after Ivar's lead on that. Turns out he's actually got some wisdom. Of course, yeah, he's a good one. He's a good one to follow on that. As well as heading after the ideas and I guess the ideas and philosophy of survival that I've been learning from a couple of other mentors. So hence the heavy reliance on handguns. Well, I have rifles, plural, including a couple good ones, and 5.56 will kill a bear, especially if you shoot them a lot. But reliance on handguns, they're portable, all that stuff. There's reasons. I won't get into it. But yeah, that's a little little update, little idea. First video I've made in a long time. Hope you guys enjoyed it, or at least weren't bored. And thanks for watching.